Good evening to one and all present here. My name is Toastmasters Subhashini and I will be your sergeant at arms for today. And welcome to Amrita Toastmasters Club meeting 3. So let's start by stating the mission of the club. Here at our club, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop greater communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Before we begin, I request everyone to keep their mobile phones either switched off or on mute. Disclaimer, any discussion regarding sex, religion, politics, or the institution that we study in is prohibited for this club. And please refrain from moving here and about when there is a speaker on stage or leaving the room unnecessarily. The meeting will end at 6, so you're free to do whatever then. With that, I would like to pass over control to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Shah, the president.
All right. Just close it. As the sergeant arms mentioned, please do avoid walking around or entering or leaving the hall while there's a speaker speaking, mostly because it's very distracting to a speaker. All right. With that, welcome to meeting number 323. We have two new Toastmasters joining us. I'm not sure I've introduced them before. Toastmaster Harshita.
He's saying he's online.
I do not see him in the meeting.
He joined the link that was given and it says meeting number 316, which is very confusing.
I say please handle that. So what? We also have a first time role here, Toastmaster Saddam. She's taken up the very daunting role of grammarian. It's the first time I think someone's ever started off being a grammarian. Yep.
That's also what I started off with.
Yes, very rare thing. So congratulations to you. We also have a few joining us today. I'll point you guys out one by one. I'd like you to state your name, roll number. Your name, which branch you are which year, and how many glasses of water have you had today? Starting with
I'm Amrita Vishwa first year 50. This is my 4th bottle of water I'm having.
very well handled for your
Hello everyone, I'm Roshni, I'm from Roshni, and I think I've had around 1.5 years.
Hi everyone, I'm Amrita Vishwa first year integrated.
We are just introducing the guests right now. Just state your name, which branch, which year you're from, and how many glasses of water you had. Glasses of water.
My name is Amrita and I'm from mechanical first year, and I provided my share of the class.
Do you remember drinking water? Have you drank water?
Yeah, of course. I finished like 2 bottles.
That's all.
Regarding the question water, I don't know why I was part about and I
This is why I asked how much water you run. Hello, sir. If they're on, it's because I'm really thirsty. If one of you guys have water, kind of having enough water. We also have a guest joining us online. We also have a guest joining us online, former Toastmaster Samir. If you would like to introduce yourself to the club, can you hear? Wait. You can say hi.
Uh, Not sure if you can hear me, but I'm Samir.
Give me a second. Is the volume? Oh, it's
Can
fine.
you hear
I
me,
will
Sean?
be. Yes, I can hear you. Would you like to tell us your name, which branch you are in, and how many glasses of water you've had today?
I'm Samir from AI. I'm in my final year, and I've had 2 glasses of water. I was about to have my third glass before Sean interrupted me.
That's probably like 2 more glasses of water than I have had the entire meal. So, all right, enjoy the meeting. I will. All right. With that, that's basically the end of my whole speaking session. I'd like to hand over control to the general evaluator, Toastmaster Roshni.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sean. Hello all, good evening. How was your day? Good. I'm always scared to ask that question because if it were asked to me, I always embarrass you. Anyways, today I will be a general evaluator, and as the name suggests, it's very straightforward. I will be evaluating the whole meeting, how was events of it, how if there were any breaking rules, as the sergeant stated. And I have my entire team today with me to help to evaluate your speeches, not evaluate your speeches, but we are help out individual evaluators. I will first try to, like to start with the timer, Shadows must start.
Now, as everyone knows, it is quintessential to start off meeting with the tag rules. To explain it to you all, there are 3 sessions today. There is the prepared speaker session, the table topic session, and the evaluator session. All 3 of these have different time controls. I have, as you can see, 3 very colorful cards. The green card, which comes first for the prepared speaker session, is when I showed at 5 minutes. The yellow at 6, right? Yellow at 6, and the red at 7 minutes. You will be allowed a 30-second buffer time. Please do not go beyond that, or you will be time restricted. As for the table topic session, it is 1 to 2 minutes. So green at 1, yellow at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red at 2 minutes. Again, 30 seconds buffer, but please don't go over the time disqualified. As for evaluators, the individual evaluators, it is 2 to 3 minutes. 2 minutes, green card, yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red card at 3 minutes. Again, buffer time 30 seconds. Please don't go over, you will be time disqualified. This is just to ensure that everything is concise and we finish the meeting on time. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raditya. Next, the grammarian, the R counter will be Toastmaster Vishwa. So yeah, as you all know, today I'm playing the role of R counter for today's meeting. So quite a few times we happen to use few unnecessary or filler words such as so, when, like. So I'll be making a note of these words used by the speaker during the duration of their speech, and I'll be letting you know at the end of the meeting. Next will be the grammarian Toastmasters.
Good evening, all. And today I'll be playing the role of grammarian in this meeting. And this is my first Toastmaster meeting as a Toastmaster member. And let me introduce you to the word of the day, quintessential. Quintessential is something which represents a perfect example. To see a person or to see something which is occurring in your daily life and to call it a perfect thing, you can call it quintessential. So the word usage can be done this way. He was the quintessential tough guy. Like at Aditya. And the way he used it, it was perfect. And I've even seen when I was if a person is using this word of the day, I'll be noting it down, and I'll be noting your good grammatical usages and even bad grammatical usages. And I'll let you know in the end. The person who uses this word of the day will get the shout out in the end. Thank you.
Okay, I am sure you all are bored of me, so let's hear from the prepared speakers. The first speech will be by Toastmaster Subhashini, who's doing her L1P4. Before I call her on, I would like to call her evaluator, Toastmaster Pranav, to give what is evaluating her on.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here as Toastmaster Subhashini's individual evaluator. Toastmaster Subhashini is doing her level 1, project 4. So, for those of you who do not know, project 4 is a quite lengthy process. In fact, it's a 3-part project. So, part 1 is to deliver a speech, and so the feedback given in that speech has to be applied in the second part of the project. The third part of the project is for the member to serve as an individual evaluator herself. Now, she's doing the second part of the level 1 project 4. And so, again, the purpose is for her to apply the feedback which has already been given for the same speech in the part. So, I wish Toastmaster Subhashini all the very best, and over to the general panel. Thank you.
Okay, guys, let's welcome Toastmaster Subhashini.
Good evening, everyone. It is I, Toastmaster Subhashini, and this is going to be a quintessentially funny and very chill speech. I'm dying to ask you all this question. Have you ever been afraid that the people you love and care about do not care about you the same way? That the memories you cherish
Yes.
or the affection you have is just one-sided?
Why not?
As
Why not?
sadistic as I sound, I am glad to hear that I am not alone in this journey, in my misery. This year, I was presented with the opportunity to meet my cousin brothers after 7 whole years. And this is an offer I was given very last minute. Now, I felt the passing of time more keenly with them than I did with anybody else. My aunt, my uncle, my grandmother have been older for as long as I can remember. But these ones that were so little now tower high above me that I have to break my neck every time I look at them. And it is very frustrating to think about. I'm sure anybody who has younger siblings that are taller than them can relate. It's very frustrating. Here was my dilemma. In order to spend a substantial amount of time with my family, I wanted to take years off of college. I've always been hesitant to do that. Even though I'm okay with taking ODs and running around, I do not want to miss the first few days of college. On the other hand, there were also friends that I have wanted to meet back home, and the timelines had finally aligned that we were able to meet after a whole year. I also had so much fun doing absolutely nothing at home, just making mishmash of things and calling it a brand new recipe, just relaxing and watching TV all day. My dad kept me well fed and entertained, and there was always my cozy bed to default to when I was bored of everything else. So there was a lot of inertia in me deciding on what to do with my holidays. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I was very stressed on what I should pick that would leave me with the least amount of regrets. What do you all think I did? Do you think I decided to revel in the comfort of my home and bask in the sun, or dive headfirst into the cold ocean, into the unknown? What do you all think I did? Okay, those of you who have listened to my speech earlier really adapted and learned now.
I went to
Because
the ocean.
when I gave the speech, everyone said, no, you stay at home in your bed. I decided to abandon my bed. This intuition told me that this decision is going to be a very important one in my life. And I did not want future me to hate me for what choice I made. Like I already do so many times a day. I did not want to regret missing out on spending time with my family. This sliver of time that had presented itself to me would never line up the same way again. And with how uncertain everything is in life, I thought that I should come up with a plan that lets me meet everybody I needed to meet. And thus began my very rapid travel. Midway through, midway through my journey, I started getting very anxious. This was a surprise trip to my cousins, and I was afraid that it would be an unwelcome one. People forget in 7 years. 7 years is a very long amount of time. And I was afraid that they no longer liked me. Playing Monopoly e-bank every single day until we got completely bored of it. Playing the risky pillow fights that we got into serious trouble for. And as the oldest of the bunch, I got yelled at very, very much. Learning the spelling of the word flossy nosy nail amplification for an entire summer, writing it from one page to the other on a tiny notebook, just to figure out that the spelling that I had imparted was wrong after 4 years. Reenacting the fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan on Mustafar from Revenge of the Sith over and over and over. I was obviously Padme a lot of times, but sometimes I said, no, you're going to be Padme. I am done playing just a girl who dies. These were memories that I held on to for so long. These were such joyous memories. But what if it is not the same? What if I was just the annoying older sister that they had to put up with for 2 months? What if these memories that are so important to me that I'm delivering an entire 5 minute long speech about it, they don't even remember? What if they're things that they just, yes, our holidays in India, we don't care about them? What if we could not pick up where we left off? I think there is something we take for granted in family that when we meet after a long while, we can simply pick up, but what if we couldn't? The timer on happiness that had started when I was going to go meet them would simply turn into a timer for, oh no, how much longer before I get to leave because I cannot stay here anymore. Rest assured, my fears were put to rest when I saw my cousins and their faces were filled with shock and confusion, yes, but they were all laced with a lot of joy. While it took them a while to process the fact that we were actually meeting finally in person, it was such a surprise. They immediately launched into discussions on all the games we could play together, the places we should go together, what we should eat. And this filled me with so much unbridled joy. This was me not adjusting into a space, making a duo or trio again. This was me. This is me occupying a space that had been left empty for me all this while. And this is something that gave me so much joy. It had been 7 whole years, as I keep saying. And it's a lot of time and a lot of distance, especially when you're growing up. The last time we saw each other was when we were 12, and after 7 years, the fact that we were able to get back together like nothing had ever happened, no time had passed, is something that put all my fears to rest. The linchpin in allaying all my fears had to be something that they remembered that I did not. It was a game that I had taught them called Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is played something like this. It's a series, the one person makes a series of chips where each chip leads to the other and you hide the chips all around. The rest of the people go around the house searching for the chips until they find the very last chip that screams out Zimbabwe. My cousins told me about the various versions of that they had made. And it was almost like seeing a future toast, like new versions and or table topics. And this is something that made me so happy. Because to be remembered is to be loved. And not only did they care about it enough to remember it, they made it their own. And I ended up making more memories to talk about in future speeches. So when life gives you a very hard time, when it bears you down and when the days are grey and bleary like today, play a game of Jim Boomba with your memories and find the happiest ones that you can hold on to. Trust that the people you love you back and care about you. Maybe sometimes not, but there's nothing else we can do anyway. Make that rash decision and be happy. Thank you.
You have the microphone.
Thank you, Subhashini. That was a really good speech and I had really fun. Next, a speech is by Toastmaster Anand, who is also doing his L1 Before I call on Anand, I would like to invite Toastmaster Sean to give his criteria.
So, Toastmaster Anand is also giving his L1P4, just like Toastmaster Sebastian. And like Toastmaster Crown said, L1P4 is the final project of your level 1. And as such, it is a longer project than the usual ones, whereas a normal project is just giving one speech. L1P4 is something that consists of 3 parts, as he has mentioned: a speech, based on feedback you get from it, repeating the speech, that is including the feedback, and the third one, which is evaluating. Toastmaster Anand has given his speech last week, and based on feedback he got from his previous evaluator, he should have updated his speech, and we'll see how it has changed. So, all the very best, Toastmaster Anand. I'm looking forward to your speech. Back to the judges.
Toastmaster Anand, a new year gift. A new year gift, Toastmaster Anand.
Good evening, friends. I request each one of you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Now ask yourself this profound question. Am I really happy in my life? Open your eyes. How many of you can confidently say, I'm really happy in my life? That's a great amount. How many of you say, I'm really sad, my life is so depressing? Gladly, no one. How will I? Now, how many of you feel that I'm not sad, but I'm not happy either? The majority, like the bell curve. Sorry for remembering that. Now, why do they insist that you ask yourself this question? Because I wanted each one of you to pause the relentless race for happiness, to stop it, to understand whether you are genuinely happy about it. Let me share with you a story of mine, story of my life 4 or 5 months ago, a journey from emotional turbulence to inner peace. How a single gift of practical knowledge changed everything. So let us travel back in time, 4 or 5 months ago, to witness my life. Let me first start with my relationship with my parents. I used to get irritated and angry with them for every little thing. My mom would enter the room and I would shout back at her, "Why did you enter? Please go, don't disturb me." And there were many days at my home when I isolated myself and did not talk to a single soul. Sorry. So, this all started when I put myself under the immense stress of JEE exam. When I thought that clearing out this exam would bring me happiness when I get into a good college. Second, imagine yourself sitting with friends talking and laughing, but your mind is somewhere else. You're constantly thinking about something that will bring you happiness in the future. Now, what if it happened every single day and you find yourself struggling to keep yourself in the present moment? How depressing it would be. How many of you can relate with that? Many of you. I was also in the same situation. In fact, the worst part is I was a very terrible listener. I give eye contact. I nod my head, but I would never actively listen. The other person would be speaking with me, but I would be thinking about what should I say next so that the other person would think high of me. And based on that, I'll alter my words. Now, this habit made me a very self-centered person, an emotionally disconnected person. So, what I'm telling is, this habit was not really a pleasurable one. It was such a depressing habit. And the ultimate part was this, called as conditional happiness. Conditional happiness is when you satisfy a particular condition in order to be happy. It's something like, I'll be happy if I get that particular job in that particular company, or I'll be happy if I get that particular person in my life and my life will be colorful. Or it could be, I'll be happy if I get that marks. Okay, CGPA. So, it is essentially you are convincing yourself that happiness does not lie in the current moment. It's lying somewhere in the future. So, what do? You run up for it. You run, but you never achieve it. You chase, but you never experience it. Wake up, run, repeat. This goes on like a cycle. And you will never ever feel the true happiness. How many of you can relate with that? Quite a lot again. I was also going through the same moment. And at this point in my life, something changed. I received a gift of knowledge that would transform my mental health completely. What is that? A gratitude journal. Now I know that I'm not very consistent with journaling. So I asked my friend Sarvesh to be my accountability partner. I told him, hey Sarvesh, if I miss out on a single day to send you the gratitude journal, I'll buy you anything in the Amrita canteen. Take any canteen you want. I'll buy you anything. Sarvesh started to dance. Yes. Sure, dude? He asked me. I said yes. Absolutely. From that moment, there was no looking back. I started my gratitude journal with my parents. I started writing down every seemingly insignificant thing. When my mom prepared a coffee after a very long day, or when my dad dropped me to the railway station because I was a waste, and when my mom prepared a lovely meal. All of them I wrote it down with a hearty thankfulness. Slowly and surely, our bond started to heal. Second, I sorry, yeah. So, second, I recognized how I was so obsessed with staying in the present. Sorry, obsessed with future happiness. So I challenged myself to stay in the present moment. And whenever I stayed in the present moment, I wrote those moments down in great detail. I described how happy I was in those moments. This brought me a positive reinforcement so that I could continue this habit. And thirdly, I recognized my greatest flaw, which was thinking about what should I say next instead of genuinely listening. So I told myself, I urged to myself that I should be genuinely interested towards others. I realized that I badly crave attention, just like how others are. So I decided to give attention, and the results came out nicely because people started coming to me and telling that they were actually happy about me giving attention to them, and I felt really happy. This was also a positive reinforcement. I slowly emerged into a person who now believes that it is not in the pursuit of happiness that we all find our fulfillment. It is in the happiness of pursuit. And now I stand before you today, and if I ask that question myself, whether I'm really happy in my life, confidently say, yes, I'm happy in my life. Now, you didn't name yet. Sorry. So I give the gift to you for New Year, which is a life full of immense joy and happiness by being grateful to others. Let it be your mom or your dad or any person who planted the tree or the person who delivered your parcel. Just write down a small note of gratitude for each one of them. Just 5 minutes of this habit will set you for a great transformation that you will ever witness in your life. Thank you.
I was so impressed by his speech, I forgot I have a role and I have to come up here again. Good job, Toastmaster panel. Now, Toastmaster Aarti will be doing her level 3 elective, and so Toastmaster Subhashni will be telling us about the project.
So good evening, everyone. I'm Toastmaster Subhashni, and I will be the evaluator for Toastmaster Aarti's elective for the pathway influential planning. Innovative planning. Okay. Influential planning sounds cool too, yeah. So active listening, the project is about active listening, and the purpose is to practice applying feedback and serving as a speech. I think you said we were wrong. Before that. Sorry. I'm sorry. So the purpose of this project is for the member to demonstrate his or her ability to listen to what others say. So it's an open-ended project, and the person can choose to do however they like. Toastmaster RK has chosen to do it by taking up the role of the table topics master. For those of you who don't know what the table topics master is, it is a unique feature in every Toastmasters meeting where one person will come up with topics and everybody will be given 2 minutes to come up with an impromptu speech on the same topic. And Toastmaster RP will be performing that, and I will be assessing her on her ability to listen to the content of the speech and give comments and more. So I wish you all the best, Toastmaster RP. Over to the gender evaluator, Toastmaster Roshni.
Let's welcome Toastmaster RK.
Thank you, Roshni. As Toastmasters has already told you, your table topics master, and it's for all the Toastmasters and guests who haven't spoken yet. So, okay. So basically, I have a few questions on the theme "What if," and whoever hasn't spoken yet will come on stage and speak for 1 to 2 minutes of the questions that I present to you. So the theme "What if" came in absolute boredom when I did not know what to do. So I decided to question myself with what if situations. So I decided to have a table topics related to what if. So that's the reason it came. So we'll start off with the table topic session. So the first question will be given to a Toastmaster who hasn't spoken yet, and we have only 2 such Toastmasters, Toastmaster Harshita and Toastmaster Namita. Who would like to go first? Okay, Toastmaster Namita. Toastmaster Namita, what if you woke up one morning to find out that you have become a child again, but you have retained all your memories of adulthood? How would you relive your childhood?
Very purposeful. Good evening, Toastmasters, and yes, I am Toastmaster Namita, and thank you so much for the very specific topic you gave me. Thank you, Sean, for reminding me of my childhood by our talk just before the session. Okay, so this is actually not something new to me because this is a remark I hear every day, literally every day, morning, afternoon, evening. As an engineer, you don't eat 3 meals a day. At least I don't eat 3 meals a day, but this is what I hear at least 4 times, 5 times a day from all my friends. I'm so thankful to them that they every day remind me that I am not yet an adult, I am still a child. Okay, so even if a person, like imagine a day, I wake up in the morning to see that I'm a child again. My appearance is always the same. So let's think about the maintenance. I become a child, I go back to school. The first thing that I would do as I am a Kerala is most of the days in Kerala it's rainy. I turn on the TV, I turn on to see if the collector has declared a holiday for school. Obviously, that's the first thing I do. Then the next thing would be to go to my mom, pester her, go to my dad, pester him, go out, run here, run away, and run here, not run away. Run here and there, till they catch me up and get me ready for school. So as my mom and me, we go to the same school, she doesn't have much time to look after me in the morning. So it's me all by myself. I can do whatever I want. I can enjoy myself to the fullest until the time the bus reaches my doorstep. That is the main point of the day where I realize that my day is gonna start. So already with my uniform, I go out and I look at the 3 things I look at myself is: do I have shoes? Do I have an ID card? And do I have cash to go to school? And the first thing, sorry. Okay, this is the most memorable childhood memories that I can go back to when you give me the topic. Thank you so much.
That was a brilliant speech, Toastmaster Namita. And being brought up in Chennai, I can relate to the part where you said the collector declaring a holiday. So now, Toastmaster Harshita, would you like to give it a try? So, Toastmaster Harshita, what if your life was an autobiography? What would be the major chapters in your life and how would you want it to end? You want me to repeat? Yeah. So, what if your life was an autobiography? What would be the major chapters in your life and how would you want it to end?
So, if my life is an autobiography, it's going to be really short. It's going to be extremely short. I'm not good at making things. I'm not good at making things drag out. It's going to be very short. The one thing my essay teachers would tell me in school is you need to write more. I see you reading a lot. I see you watching a lot of TV shows in class. We can sneak our phones into class. They knew we didn't. They didn't do it. I see you doing all that. You must be good with words. Why don't you make your essays longer? I can't. Really can't. I don't make sentences that are longer than maybe 5 words, 6 words maximum. So my autobiography is going to be very short. There's going to be one chapter about how I really didn't like high school because I took science and the humanities classroom was right next to us. Their days ended at, they come to school at 9, they go home at 12. And I'm here till 6. So that's going to be one chapter. The next one will be college. College is much better than high school, I'd say. We're all doing engineering, so we're all in this together. So there's no one enjoying life right next door. So college is a little better. Adult life, I don't know what's going to come for me, but hopefully something good, hopefully something sweet. So yeah, autobiography is short. That's one thing I can be sure about.
Thank you, Mr. Harshita. Well, I agree with the fact about writing long pages because I still remember that we had a 10-mark question for a psychology exam and I wrote only half page for that. So even I can't write much, so I agree. My autobiography would also be shorter. So now, the next person would be a guest. Any guests who would like to volunteer? Guest Amrita. What if you had to live the same day repeatedly? What would you do differently each time? Okay. What if you had to live the same day repeatedly?
Same day as in
Same day, like every day you have to
over
do
and over and over again.
every day you have to do the same thing every single day. You can't do anything differently. How would you live it?
Hi everyone, a very good evening to all of you. So my topic is how would if I had to live a day again and again, how would it be? Well, it would be mostly spent reading books because it is something. Books are something I devour. All types of books. You can give me any book, and you can rest assured if you give me enough time, I will devour it. So most of my time would be spent reading books page to page, and when I finish them, I'll read them again just to make sure that I can recite them from end to end. Other than that, well, the usual things I need to do to survive: drinking water, eating food. You get the point. So, other than reading books, maybe binge watching YouTube, or maybe I would binge watch movies because I don't watch a lot of movies or Netflix shows. I don't watch a lot of them either. So, I think those are the things I'll do if I have to live a day again and again. Thank you.
So this Asya has basically repeated the quarantine routine for most of the people for every single day. Okay, moving on. Any other person, any other guest who would like to volunteer? Yeah. Srivashni. Okay. Guest Srivashni. What if you could travel to any place in the world? It could be real or it could be fiction. Which place would you travel and why? I will repeat my question. What if you could travel to any place in the world? It could be real or it could be fictional. What place would it be and why?
Hello everyone, I am Srivashni. Uh, as the topic as okay. So if I was asked to go to any place, I would rather choose fictional than any real place
My first place would be Hogwarts. Because I'm a reader. Like books are an integral part of my life. I'm not that good of a speaker, and I read a lot. And this reading journey started with Harry Potter. My friend introduced me to Harry Potter, so that's it's just everything to me. Hogwarts is my home. So first I go to Hogwarts, and maybe I'll not avoid real places too. I want to explore the world. I don't want to be stuck in one place. So yes, that's it. Thank you.
So, well, when I wrote this question, believe me, the first name that came of Hogwarts. Okay. One last speaker. Anybody interested? Oh my god. Okay, you can. Yes. Trishani. Okay, so yes, Trishani. Okay, what if you woke up and find out that you have turned invisible for life? Okay. What if you woke up one morning to realize that you have turned invisible for life?
Okay. Good evening, everybody. So, as for the question, which she asked me, what if I woke up one morning and I turned invisible for life? Well, that's quite a perplexing question to me because I never contemplated it. But thinking of it, if I turned invisible, I guess I could do certain things which I can't imagine myself doing at the moment right now. I could sneak into places where I don't think I would really love to go to. Maybe I can try exploring places a lot better if I was invisible, trying to get into forbidden zones, trying to get into conflict zones because I would be invisible. Like a lot of places which I want to explore, such as Tibet, are actually not kind of another conventional places where people like going. So if I was invisible, that would be way easier to do. Secondly, I guess being invisible would be one thing. I could go to all the museums I wanted without getting a ticket. So that's easy on the pocket. Other than that, traveling and visiting museums, maybe even I could try to pull off pranks. I never pull off pranks, maybe I could try pulling pranks on few people who have tortured me a bit in my life, I would say. But other than that, thinking to be invisible in my life, I don't think it's something I would want to be because I don't want to lead the life of invisible man, to be honest. Thank you.
Okay, so one more, right? Okay, we'll have one more speaker. Who wants to go? Okay, you did it last time, so you can come.
So, like, is there any possibility so I could take my topic and I can talk? Is like, is it that time or like, and I could choose my team on what I'm going to give very well speak?
No, it's like a topic and you have to speak. That's it.
Right.
Okay. What if life gives you a fast forward button? Which moment would you want to fast forward to and why? Would you want to repeat? Need to repeat?
Yeah.
What if life gives you a fast forward button? Which moment would you want to fast forward to and why?
So, hello everyone. As the question suggests, the which phase of my life which I need to fast forward is the present, this learning phase. And currently, this adolescence it's giving me so much of like throwing so much of questions in my mind and so much of tasks to be completed, which I basically I'm so tired. Like I don't like to tackle up with tasks, so I just want to fast forward and come to a happy part of like old, which I think is an old days, just chilling up in my bench and just having like people working, like giving me food, and it has been happily be sitting there and be enjoying my life if it's happened so, but I don't think so it's gonna happen. But if I get a chance, like if I gonna my life gonna get part of my life gonna get fast forward, I will choose a current phase. Not only because of that, the thing is like I need to learning that more of the adult stage is the stage where like you're going to learn so much of things. When you're a kid, you're being pampered a lot. In my case, I'm being pampered a very lot. So each and every single thing was, for me, it is being done, even though if I'm not asked for. But currently, for me, each and everything I need to go and approach, which for me is like very shocking. Okay, I need to do. I need to go by my myself to bus. Then only I can go to my home. Nobody is gonna come and take a car and gonna drop me in my home. So these sort of questions are running in my mind, which tackling at present is not very good for me. But I mean, I don't like it, but hopefully help me to become a very good person in the future. I guess. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I was imagining so many things like what would I become in future, what would I do this time, what would I do that time. But yeah, the current place is where we have to stay. Where we have to stay. Sorry. So with that, this comes to an end to my table topic session. I hope all of you had a really good time. And for those of you who couldn't get a question, I hope in future I could give you all a question. So thank you. Back to Chintan Gandhi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alvin, for a very fun and, I have to say, thought-provoking session. Now let's move to the individual evaluator session. Now people have to go into professional mode like Toastmaster Shagada. I would first like to invite Toastmaster Pranav to evaluate Toastmaster Subhash.
Okay, professional activity. So congratulations to Toastmaster Subhashini on your part 2. So you know what crocheting means? It's using two hooked needles to interlock loops of yarn to create something beautiful. So whenever Toastmaster Subhashini delivers a speech, that is the analogy that I get. You know, and I think Toastmaster Aditi has also mentioned it. You're so picky about the things that you choose, and you choose so many beautiful things out of nowhere, and you create something very beautiful. And I think that is something that I look forward to when you give speech. So firstly, right off the bat, you had a great start. I think I was there for your previous speech too, and that was one of the major differences that I could find. The energy level that you brought on the stage was great. You know, your audience interactions, when you ask things like, okay, have you ever had one-sided connection? And then I can feel those ones other than nodding, nodding seriously. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so it's a great start. I love the brownie points for your audience engagement. And I love your emphasis on certain things, you know, like I just had so much fun doing absolutely nothing. You know, so very good comedic timing in that way. And this story felt something straight out of like a multiverse saga, you know, like you're doing something that is not very significant, and then suddenly you get this opportunity to turn everything around. And so, you know, like this Spider-Man out of the Spider-Verse sort of story. But I think it was great. I'm happy that you decided to take that plunge. And it was a very happy story, great energy levels, and it was good comedic timings, and it was a very happy story until the what if part. You know, okay, what if for them it was just a very insignificant, spending of time, and I happened to notice you were standing right in front of the theme of today, which is also what if. So I think that was the entire speech in itself is a very quintessential example for the theme of the day. Now, I also happen to write down certain very beautiful things. To be remembered is to be loved, and I think that's a very beautiful phrase, something that all of us really look forward to. And the conclusion too was very good. How you tied together G and Goomba to for our lives to become something meaningful. Now, your previous feedback was regarding you moving around the stage, and you did not apply a lot of that. You stayed planted. I think what you could have done is maybe something like the life before you could use a different part of the stage, and then when you decide to take a plunge, you could move to the other side, something like that. But your eye contact was better. I noticed you had eye contact with people around. But also, when you are particular about a certain thing, I noticed that you tend to stare into the unknown. Maybe look up or look down or look just into the randomness. So maybe that is again something that you can work on. Hand gestures again, you did really well. You incorporated that really well. So that's it. Congratulations on your speech, and I hand over to the Nadella.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pranav. Now I invite Toastmaster Sean to welcome Toastmaster Anand.
So, Toastmaster Anand, last week when you gave your speech, I was like, okay, maybe I wish I had gotten an opportunity to evaluate his speech because it was very good speech. There are very good points that I'd like to have talked about, and I'm glad that I've gotten this opportunity because here's the thing, right? Gratitude is something we sort of overlook in our life. When someone does something to you, as in sorry, not to you, that's out of bad. When someone does something for you, right? It's something you don't really notice. It could be just giving you a pen, handing you a sip of water. Yes, things like that. Small gestures that may not mean a lot to them, but mean a lot to you. Gratitude is something that people don't look. All right. As a child, when I was about to say some other phrase, when I was younger, there was a time period where I sort of set myself a challenge. It was how many good deeds can I do in a day? And it was a shocking number. It was like 2 or something. And I was like, it was bad. It was very bad. The thing is, right? I don't know. Maybe it was about my version. Maybe what I think to be a good deed. Maybe that differs. Maybe what I did as a normal action that might be just like breathing to me might have been a good deed to someone else, right? But I want you to keep this in mind as you leave the meeting. Think about the good deeds that you do in a day. Think about the good deeds that people do for you. And look back at it with gratitude. Alright, now I'll go back to my evaluation part. The previous evaluator, they told me when I asked them, okay, what were the main points you were looking at? They told me he said some discrete phrases where it was basically he said part of a sentence, and while we did understand it, on a stage you're not really supposed to give parts of sentences and stuff like that, and things and informal phrases. All right, I think I can gladly say that you haven't, as far as I've seen or heard, you haven't done anything like that. You were very well spoken. Your speech was very eloquent. You managed to speak perfectly, in my opinion. It was a very excellent speech. Your voice modulation, the speed of your speech, it was very calm. It was very slow. You managed to get people listening. You used pauses very effectively. All right. So that's a very good thing. I want you to keep doing that in your future speeches. All right. So another you use excellent. Two main cons of your speech. Let's say, when you take a pause, don't say sorry. All right. When you forget a sentence, nobody else knows that. Nobody else has access to your script. You're the only one who knows your format. You take a pause. You forget the line. Take another pause. Continue with the next line. Don't say sorry because that just tells the audience that you did something wrong. Another thing is when you stand, at times you go like this. That makes me feel like a professor evaluating your project. I don't want to do that. So try to avoid that. With that, I'd like to hand over control back to the.
Now, to evaluate Toastmaster RT's level 3 elective, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Subhash.
Good evening, everyone. Toastmaster Aarti did her level 3 project elective, which was to practice active listening. So the purpose was to have a well-run debate topic session, and I think that without a question, what do you all think?
Very well done.
Very well done. Yes, as the audience has answered Toastmaster Aarti, it was a very, very well done